What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Moto Aftermath Show presented by TLR Coatings here. Check them out for all your custom powder coating needs. We are back in studio wrapping up here round one of the Lucas Oil Pro Motocross Championship, which we might get 9 rounds. We're not sure yet. We've already had one cancellation, reschedule, so we'll see what happens here.
We'll just run them all at Loretta's, I guess.
Maybe. We're going to have 9 rounds at Loretta's. That's going to be awesome.
It's going to be sweet.
Anyway, so before we get started, make sure to like, subscribe, comment down below. Sharing is caring, and
growing is showing.
Growing is showing.
That's the new thing.
That is the new thing. We need a t-shirt like that. Anyway, make sure to follow us on all the major social media networks. Cole was probably not Twitter fingering this weekend because he was actually at the ranch.
No service.
And there's no service, so he wasn't doing that. Have you uploaded anything on Instagram recently?
I used to be able to get
Okay, great. Max back there with 601 Media behind the camera. Would you shut the fuck up? I'm talking.
Fuck you.
Like it's fucking rude, alright? God damn it. Anyway, Max back there from 601 Media behind the camera. Make sure to check him out on Instagram too. He uploads all of his edit stuff on our Instagram page, so you can check out a lot of the top amateurs across the country because he goes to all those races and hangs out and does some filming. So, let's talk about the track here before we get into fantasy. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be.
No, that's exactly what I thought. Like after being there and like seeing, but I had that thought come in like in my head going down there. Like you look at the amateur national and you watch the track and the lines and stuff. They're shitty. It looks terrible. But you also got 450C. No disrespect to the C guys. You got 450C first moto of the day cutting the lines into the track.
Yep.
So I kind of gave the benefit of the doubt that maybe it would shape up a little differently. Lines would be sweeping out a little more, and you know there'd be a little more flow to it.
Did you hear what they did? They left all the bumps in it from the amateur race, and they just put down like a little bit of sand and some mulch over top of it. And they were super pumped because they were like, yes, this is going to create some chaos, which will make the track better. Because,
well, it didn't help any because it rained for 2 days.
Yeah, then when it rained, that fucked everything up.
Yeah,
and they
so
were
like down there, I don't know if you could see on TV, but the whole side of the track was like the Rocky Mountains of mud.
Yes.
Well,
yes,
you know, Eli got stuck in a rut. And
did you see the picture of Nick Gaines?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, he's just standing there with his hands out like, I can't do anything.
Yeah, he tried for a few minutes and was just like, no. Tomac in the press conference was laughing. He's like, it wasn't really funny at the time, but it kind of funny because he's like, I've never buried a bike like that. I didn't know what to do. So, yeah, they got screwed because they were trying to get that press day. Because from what I understand, that's the only press day they were going to have all year was that
then they
Friday.
pushed practice back on Saturday.
Yeah.
They pushed it back like an hour or something or whatever it was.
And so the track was ripped. They didn't seal it, and so when we got all the rain, then that
I will say
screwed
though that
everything up.
this next round on Saturday, I think, is going to be very, very different.
It's going to be a lot different.
Yeah.
Because it's only supposed to rain like once this week, and that's only 40% chance, but at Loretta's that means like 80. But it's going to be hot, and I think it's going to be a typical 2-3 o'clock in the afternoon Loretta Lynns amateur national track by the motos.
It was humid as shit.
It's going to be like riding on concrete. I don't think that's another thing. It rained so much. It was super deep. You know, you get a lot of G-outs, twitchy ruts down the straightaways. I don't think the racing is going to be as good this next Saturday. Because to be honest, there were freight training pretty much till the 15-minute mark in every moto. I mean, God, what was that? The first 450 moto?
Maybe not the 250 class, but the 450 class.
Well,
made me think of the GPs.
I mean, as far as like from 10 to 20, I think you got a lot of guys bunched up. But I don't think the racing is going to be as good. I think it's going to be a little bit more what we thought Loretta's would be like. Pretty much just stay tight in the corners, and it's not going to really separate a lot of people. So
I will say, having watched most of the amateur week, they made a lot of changes to that track as far as like just little like lengthening it straight away, opening a turn up type deal to the point that
the faces up a lot more.
Yeah, to the point that watching it didn't look exactly like the same track. So it also didn't look stupid, like it was like, you know, a bunch of big bike dudes on a mini bike track, you know.
I will say though that like you could tell that it was all about line selection, which people will always say, well, that's what it's no, like for this, it wasn't even a technique thing on this track. It was more about line selection. What were you doing to just, you know, stay out of the G-outs, use the least amount of energy as possible. And the guys that won the races, you could tell, like, their racecraft throughout the motos was better than everybody else's. Their line slide, I mean...
Did it remind you guys of Hangtown a little bit, just because the ruts were so deep and so long everywhere? Because Hangtown gets...
I've never seen a track.
No, because Hangtown gets long ruts in the corners, but Hangtown doesn't really get ruts from the entering of a transition into the corner.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it gets long ruts through the corner because they do add a lot of mulch at Hangtown and a lot of rice hulls, so it keeps the moisture in the dirt, but... I don't know. I think that for the first time in a while, you see the guys that have the endurance. Those are the guys that rise to the top at the end of the motos, and even the guys that have good cardio, like Tomac. Like, dude, he was struggling hardcore. I'm not getting into it too much, but he was struggling hardcore in that first moto.
Yeah.
And that was
bike changes and all that kind of shit. But when, I mean, I guess I could take this back. He's usually, we'll get into it, but it usually takes him a little bit to get going in a series.
Yeah.
The first round's always like, my arms pump up.
Yeah.
round.
Well, and Eli's
But
was really
in
stiff.
years past, he comes out of Hangtown and just kills everybody. So I guess I really don't know.
But you watch. Did you watch AC's GoPro?
I have not yet.
And you said you didn't watch it either.
No, I watched it.
Oh, you did. Okay. Yeah, you could tell that. Like, everybody was like, "Oh, is the 450s? Is this going to be too small of a track for 450s?" It's very, very narrow. Like I said, not long transit. You could tell, like, that was a little bit right in the sense, because I'm pretty sure that whole entire video of like 4.5 minutes, I don't think AC got above 2,800 RPMs. I mean, he was just lugging third the whole entire track. Because
I will say that they said that the narrowest part of that track was not the narrowest part of any track in the series.
Yeah, I don't agree with that. I don't believe that at all. They could say that till they're blue in the face, but you could tell.
I mean, maybe. I don't know.
I like the track changes though. I hope they keep those for the end.
Yeah, after the 10 Commandments, that little short.
Even like after the start, that
yeah.
that chute that goes down and around, and then after the 10 Commandments, that little deal. I hope they keep that for the amateurs.
They gotta change that hip triple though after what would be the finish line for the amateurs, where AC went down. That little hip triple.
I kind of liked it though because it provided options.
It was
Acura
good.
was doing something different than Tomac.
I liked the step up over the tunnel afterwards, because you could see a lot of guys were doubling up and over and then hitting that little inside braking bump and doubling into the corner like it was
some
faster.
tactical stuff, yeah.
But I'm talking about the triple itself. Like, yeah, a lot of guys weren't hucking it because it pivoted so hard.
The rut was super nasty.
But yeah, exactly, I think it's gonna keep biting people, and that's the only thing I would say, that I think that they maybe need to angle it just a little bit different. And you can't really angle the face of the tunnel because the tunnel being there. I just think that they need to slope it different.
Or just be a smarter rider and double.
Well, Zacho was actually doubling and then doubling it off.
That's what I mean.
Doubling
That's what I
off
mean.
with the braking
So-
bump after that. So.
But it wasn't really faster because you would get a ton of lift, but not a lot of push forward.
It was a safer line and it was just as fast.
Yeah, no, I liked it. It just, as far as the safety thing. Other than that, I mean, track was okay,
No,
I
it's
guess.
Yeah. Okay, so let's jump into fantasy here now. For those of you who'd like to play along with us, we are playing on the PulpMX Fantasy site,
Also, hang on
pulpmxfantasy.com.
a second. We promised a fantasy podcast. It never happened.
That's not anything new for us.
Anything new. So
we
I
talk
guess-
Yeah,
about
we didn't even talk about it.
We talk about these extra ones, and we
Well,
just
don't believe anything we say.
Well, here's another thing I just realized. The show that we did back in December when we filmed us watching Motocross never happened.
Yeah, I
Never
still,
got-
I still have
The
it.
1,000 subscribers. show?
Yeah,
the
So it's kind of like the
subscribers
PC
still
shop video.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude. I mean, it's out. It's there.
Yeah, it's just,
I just haven't done it yet.
yeah. Well, you might as well not even throw it up. It's like fucking 8 months later.
We only got
PC
just
shop
years.
video ain't out yet.
Or just wait until December and then just throw it up and pretend, hey, you know what?
There we are.
We just
Hey,
filmed
just make
this.
it the 1,500 subscriber
Yeah.
show.
Yeah, something like that. Anyway, so as far as fantasy, if you want to play along with us, the Moto Aftermath Show is our league on there. It is free to join right now. And so anyway, I scored 325 points. In the 250 class, I had Mitchell Harrison, scored me 34, Dylan Ferrandis scored me the solid 50. Carson Brown shot me in the foot with 29. And Jet Lawrence got me 58, so that was a good showing. Then in 450s, I had Brock Tickle with 48. Not a bad day. Joey Savacci got me 52, also super solid. Jake Masterpool was not a great pick at 32, like we kind of thought. And
We put two motos together.
AC's second moto really killed me with 22 there. So, I still made it in the top 20 in the league, so I'm in the points, boys. We're in the points, but we're behind. Go ahead.
I had 381. I had Dylan Schwartz. He got me 50. His second moto was great. Obviously, we didn't see him the entire time because he was starts were fucking terrible. That first moto, I think he was sitting around 37th for a good 15 minutes. I don't know what he was doing. Styles Robertson was my worst pick. He got me 22. Another kid, I think him and Dylan both stacked up in the first lap of the first moto. J-Mar got me 50, and Mitchell had a electric start on his Cowie. Would have got a little bit better for pretty much everybody here because I know you also picked him. And 450s, Luke Rensling got me 76. That was a good one. Anstie got me 58. Baggett almost got me a perfect score at 47. And LeMay got me 44. I thought LeMay was going to have a little bit better day. I know a lot of people would say, hey, as long as he's in the top 20. But LeMay, I feel like, is one of those guys that should have taken over for where John Short was last year. I think he can be a top 10 guy. So I was a little disappointed with that. But 381, I don't know, I think I'm like 5th in the league right now. So
Yeah, so I'm not trailing you too far. I think if I would have made one different pick here,
250s? Or
I would have beat you.
in
for
general?
sure.
Just in general?
Just in 250s.
Oh,
I had 373.
okay.
I had Mitchell, so we all know how that went. He got a little pressure from the troll train there and went into that corner hot. Needed the recluse. He got 34, and this is where I should have had 50, but I didn't because I had Justin Cooper. And
Oh, we're going to talk about him.
Yep, Justin Cooper got me a 28.
Cooper.
I got a theory on this. I got a theory.
Okay, we'll save it for one
Okay,
second.
save it for
I
250s,
saw
man.
3 riders at Dunkin' Donuts in the morning. All 3 of them shit the bed.
See how he didn't save it?
No.
No, I'm going to tell you who those riders are.
Can only
We'll
assume
assume
that
who
one
one
was
of
Justin
them is.
Cooper.
Well, one was Justin Cooper. Yes.
Okay.
Wow, that was good.
All right, great. Anyway, continue on.
Anyway, he had 28. Poopy.
Poopy.
I had Carson Mumford. He looked really good in practice.
Fatal
I
execution.
mean, I guess that
Did
doesn't
look
matter
good.
because I made these picks before even going down there.
Dude, I made mine
Yeah.
on like Friday.
Yeah, I made these before going down there knowing I wouldn't have service. So I had Carson Mumford 54, and then Eric Drake 51.
It's not bad.
So I took, kind of looking at what Derek Drake did last year, he was kind of consistently around the top 10 there.
Yeah.
Pierce Brown was down in the brown right away in practice, so I'd stay away from him. I might look at him for next week though. And then into 450s, I had Brock Tickle my pickle, solid guy.
Tickle was solid.
Jake Masterpool, really impressive ride into 16, privateer guy. I had kind of thought about when he was, 16th through 20th all last year, every race pretty much. So him, I had Luke Rensling. I knew he'd been racing in Canada, stuff like that, so I figured he could go to the end at least and maybe outlast some of those Cody Shocks and those guys. 76, so awesome for him. And then I had Messi Marv for 50. Figured he'd be just good on that track, which he was. He came from the back, which we'll get into. So
Next week will be interesting with the handicaps though, because some people had some really, really high handicaps.
yeah, so I'm looking for Hunter Lawrence to have a better handicap.
Well, you
so
know, his bike doesn't grenade.
Yeah, I'm gonna look at Hunter Lawrence. I'm gonna look at. I'm gonna probably look at Pierce Brown, and I will, depending on the handicap, I'm gonna look at Mason Gonzalez again. Very good ride for Mason Gonzalez.
I'd just wait till after practice if you can. Yeah.
Well, I watched practice, and even after I watched
went
it,
9-10.
I didn't know.
He did. He was good. Mason Gonzalez was really, really good, which is funny
So-
because Schwartz and Robertson pretty much had him covered.
Yeah,
The
we'll
week
get
before.
into that in 2 parts. I got that in my
Yeah.
list.
Okay.
I watched practice Saturday, went to do my picks, and the times it was pulling up were for Salt Lake City 7, so I was like,
Nice.
this is unhelpful. Like
450s are going to be tough though to find a good person that has a high handicap because now, like a Luke Rensland, like a Ben LeMay,
Yeah.
like Jake Masterpool, their handicaps are going to be a lot smaller now. So
Well, now
that's going to be maybe Cody Schott.
I sell you on a jaywalk for 18 handicap.
definitely
Not at
a
all.
Chance in hell.
Chris Prebula 18 handicap.
What did he go, like
No.
36
Chris Prebula,
DNS?
why would I? No.
He had 18. He got 6 points.
Why did your boy Walker not start the second moto?
So apparently, well, I don't know what it was, but
I know he didn't say that.
but I mean, I got a GoPro video of him about eating shit off that triple before the sand straight.
Alright.
He kind of dabbed his leg and then he was riding around holding his knee. Like he usually does.
He's going right up to a Honda soon. Is he going to go
Going back to the Honda.
Is
And
he-
yeah, he might go back to the Honda because apparently the situation is he blew a fork seal and it blew oil all over the front brake and he had no front brake.
That's cool.
So they didn't have time to get it fixed.
Oh, yeah.
So That's what happened. That's why you be nice.
Can I sell you on a Jalek's full?
Nope.
Yes, actually.
Nope.
Really?
Not at
You
all.
might be able to sell me on a Jalek's full,
yeah, well.
depending on the handicap.
Okay.
He should be a top 20 guy.
He
wasn't.
Yeah, he was down first lap.
Okay, cool. So anything
Wanna
else
go
with
with me?
fantasy or the track before we move on here?
No, it's just I think it's gonna be very, very different coming this next
Sitting in the
segment.
creek was wonderful.
You like sitting in feces, huh?
There wasn't feces in there.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Pee, a little bit of pee though.
There's pee because I sat in there and peed. And then we drove up to the house and I was like, well, maybe my pee made it to the waterfall by now. And I watched it go right off the waterfall.
That's really weird.
Wow.
It's a weird thought.
No, if you ever get to go to Loretta, so like the guys I was with, so if anybody is watching this and plans on going next week that's never been there, the guys I went with had no idea the house was up there, all this stuff. They didn't even want to go. I said, before we leave, we're taking a right, we're driving a half mile up there, and we're going to the house.
Mm-hmm.
It's just cool to see. So if you come
Who'd you
down
go
there,
with?
huh?
Who'd you go with?
I went with Rusty Davis, Brandon S. House, sorry, I don't know.
Did you guys jump off the famous? Have you ever jumped off the famous bridge?
No, where is it?
Dude, it's like fucking. I think when you pull out, if you go to the right, it's like 2 miles up the road, and you gotta go up 2 miles and then take another right. It's like on some country back road.
Yeah, so Libretto and I almost rode our bikes all the way out there, but it kind of tees and goes right, and the pastrana tree was down that hill.
Yeah.
They cut the pastrana tree down.
What the hell is the pastrana tree?
You ever seen the video of his dad doing a backflip and belly flops?
These are on the
Shit out of
old
it.
VHS videos.
This is like
Oh,
VHS.
no.
This is
Well, you know
probably
the bridge that I'm talking about, right?
No, I don't know that either.
But there is a bridge down there. I didn't know that's the one people jump
Yeah,
off.
I'm pretty sure that's the one. I've never jumped off of it, but I've been there.
Okay.
But yeah.
Anyway,
the famous bridge. Before we cut, famous bridge. Everybody back in the day used to go to this bridge. Like guys like Pastrana. I don't think Stu ever did it. Carmichael did it. Fucking anybody who's anybody. They always jumped off this bridge into like a creek river type thing. But all those VHS tapes, like Mini Warriors, they would always
They're
film
all
it.
down there jumping off it.
Because that was like the thing to do back in the day. Like we're talking like 20 years ago. Everybody would jump off the bridge.
The Pastrana one, like this is literally, so you could probably go back, it's probably in Global Addiction or one of those movies, or Revelation 199, I think it's in that one, probably on YouTube. But that tree, dude, what do you think, maybe 4 stories?
No, it's huge.
Probably 4 stories,
Well, it's
whatever.
Travis.
His dad backflips, Shauna's dad backflips, clips a branch on the way down, puts him on his stomach or his back or something, just
Ow.
and then the end of the clip is him climbing back up to the top.
Sounds terrible. That's a pastrana thing to do.
But yeah, they cut that tree down.
Yeah, okay. All right. Well, anyway, yeah. So that pretty much wraps up fantasy. Like I said, make sure to go play there with us, and yeah, we will take a quick break, and we will come back with 250 talk.
Yes, sir.
All right. Breaking news before we get started.
Damn.
Cole
We
is
just had this
training with
conversation.
me next year. Road to Loretta's, aka
Yep.
pro license.
No, I'll only do it if people pay my way
Oh wow.
and if a video camera's there the whole time.
Well, we got the video.
How
Guy.
old
We got a race team and a video guy.
How old are you now?
Fuck, I'll be 26.
Oh,
Okay.
perfect. Cool.
Well, you
man.
still aren't the oldest person to ever try for their license
like
this late.
John Dow.
John Dow did
when
when
he
he
was
was
doing
29.
that one when he was 28.
Well, I just said John Dow did it when he was 29. So
Okay, whatever.
Fine.
Cole's trying to go for pro license.
Yeah. Oh yeah. This is happening now.
This is happening.
No,
This is
because
a thing.
I don't want to get my. I want to go. It'd be cool to try a pro national, right? But I don't want to go to the national, fucking be 30 seconds off of making it, and then have all the local people sitting around like, look at you, Getty, you was fucking 30 seconds off, you pissing in the wind. And it's like we do about all the local.
Yeah, but then you could just be
Just like we do here, duh.
Then you could just be like, hey, well, if you've ever brought for a pro national, shut the fuck up.
Oh my gosh.
You won't be 30 seconds off. I'm training you. You'll be fine. You're in such good shape.
No, and I don't.
So you're saying that just because he's in shape though, is going to transfer the
I don't-
riding skills over to?
I don't want to
Hey,
spend. I can confidently say I have speed, and we can work with that.
We can work with speed.
But anyway,
I'll get his ass in shape. He'll be fine.
dude, I just don't want to spend all that money driving from Timbuk fucking 2 and 2.
We may be
man.
in 5th place in the LCQ, which is really gonna piss us off. But I mean, dude, at least we'll be there.
Probably won the LCQ.
Hey, though, you can at least say if you go get 5th in LCQ, it's fucking issue right there.
Yeah.
Right there.
Which will make
Doesn't really help for spending all that money, but at least you can say. And then if it's a mud moto,
Can I claim a 42nd overall?
yeah. And then if it's a mud,
Yes.
if it's a mud moto, hey man, you don't know. You could show up and it could, be like Loretta's 2013, just downpour.
Yeah, it'll be just like Iron Man every year when Austin Wagner's fastest.
Dude, I was there for that. That was so fucking weird.
Anyway, whatever.
And then I could literally see his clutch.
You guys
fading.
might be able to talk me into it, but I don't feel like
This is
spending
happening.
money.
I'm excited. I can't wait to train you, dude. I'm gonna whoop your ass. It's gonna be great. You're gonna whoop me on the track, but I'm gonna whoop your ass off the track. It's gonna be fantastic. I'm excited. This is gonna be great.
All right, January 1.
It's gonna be like
Okay, if anybody wants to support, yes, I'm asking for money.
Yeah, drop a
We're
like.
not gonna shy away from this. We're asking for money. Please send it.
Drop some
GoFundMe.
likes and comment down below about Cole. Say, like, hey, if we can get it on board, if we can get 10 comments about it, Cole's got to fucking try.
Oh.
10 comments. People got to talk about Cole trying for the national. 10 comments about it. Cole's got to try for a national next year.
Did that Bob Bones?
Yeah, I gotta
It's
spend
gonna
time.
I can do it. It's gonna be awesome.
I better head straight to Redbud and suck off the Richie so I can get my
Oh. Okay.
Hell, Wyman's gonna make 10 accounts.
That's
just
staying
Yeah,
in
because
the
then he
video.
can just hit you up and be like, dude, now you know what I went through.
I could be like certain people, I'm not gonna name names, that never went to pro-ams and ended up with pro licenses.
Well, that's a lot of people.
Interesting.
Actually, I can name one. He's on a Kawasaki right now. He rides for a factory team.
Eli Thomas.
No, AC never did a pro-am.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that's
he came
true.
straight
Yeah,
out of
he came
Superman.
out.
Yeah, bro, he rode a 120.
I'm talking local guys.
Oh, I was talking about a bigger name and never had to ride. Never. Anyways, let's get into
Anyway,
this.
okay. Let's go. Let's talk 250s here. So everybody's worried about Frenchie, right?
What are you worried about?
No, not us. Everybody he's racing
No.
is what I'm talking about.
No.
They're not nervous.
No, I mean, dude, it's the first round.
He's still.
I
I do want
understand
to
what
point
he-
out that almost everybody on that line had some sort of history at Loretta's, knew the track,
And
whatever.
he
Old
spanked
boy came there
everyone.
for the first time and smoked everybody.
I'm not talking.
Absolutely
I'm not talking
smoked.
about they shouldn't be. I'm not saying they should be a little worried. But once again, we literally sat here and talked about this on the preview show. Anything can happen at Loretta's. It's the first
So
race
if he
of the
goes
year.
out, goes 1-1 this next round, or
No, because he could go. He could go. There were people because people were like, "Oh, his comment after the second moto, like, hey, having a perfect season," but he didn't actually say that. He was talking about just having like, "Hey, I win a championship." People interpreted that as, "Oh, he's trying to go 18-0." People have already been talking about, "Oh, is it possible for him to go 18-0?" And like a lot of
I
people
saw
said,
that. I was like, you guys are ignorant.
yeah, that's not what he
Right.
fucking said. First off, Dylan is hard to understand a lot of the time. He's not going to go 18-0. But what I'm saying is he could go he could ride the same way at Loretta's. But once again, it proved in that second moto, his starts aren't perfect. So you're going to tell me that he's going to start like that all year at every track? That he wasn't, that just, it's not going to happen. Loretta's was fitting perfect for him. And people were talking about all the hype. Dude, there were people saying that the practice tracks in Glen Helen, he was going 2 seconds faster than anybody there. And that includes Tomac. You think he's going to be able to pull that out of his ass every week? No. Because he didn't do it in Supercross. I'm not going to, like,
Believe the hype, bro. Do we need to get those shirts going again? Believe the hype.
he's talking to
No,
me.
I'm thinking about getting some made and just selling them because I think people will buy them.
You mean a Michael Lessie experiment?
Yeah,
all
no,
over again?
yeah. Let's just repop the believe the hype.
No, I'm not going to be one of those people that's going to be after the first fucking 2 motos of the year, just be like, oh my god, it's like it's the same thing we
Who's
did.
gonna
with-
get it?
What do you mean, who's going to get it?
Who's gonna get it?
There's a lot of. Do you see how stacked the 250 class is right now?
I do.
The racing wasn't that great though.
From second back, it's
I
very
understand that,
stacked.
but he's not going to go
But
beat
first
it.
place was.
He's not going to go beat
Jeremy Martin
everybody.
will be there. Justin Cooper needs to pull his head out of his ass because I think he can get a moto win.
I'm just saying that he's not going to do that. He's not going to beat everybody by 25 seconds every moto of the year. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. There's a reason why going undefeated, it doesn't matter if it's 18 motos or not, in outdoors is tough as hell. Because A, his bike could grenade at any moment. Those Yamahas, they can have problems. We
He got
see
the wick turned up.
or he could just stall it in a corner, and we've seen how hard or issues they had with the electric start in Supercross with Cooper.
There's a lot of factors.
Or he could just get buried on the start. It's not going to happen. Going perfect outdoors is hard. It's not going to happen.
I don't know, man.
Nowadays it's hard. Like back in the day when you were the only one doping, like Ricky, you could
Well,
do it.
and it was
Jesus
Ricky.
Christ.
Ricky could never mind. We're not going to get into that. My point is that just don't put a lot of investment in the first fucking 2 motos of the year. We literally sat here on the show, on the previous show, and said the exact same thing. That's like saying in the 450 class that the guy who got the overall, now because he won the overall, he's going to get the championship. It's not going to happen.
I'm not saying that in 450. I'm saying we have a dude who is the alpha of the 250 class to start with. Okay, we all agreed coming in that he was pretty much the guy. I mean, there was some J-Mark talk out there. I know you were.
I think both of us called J-Mark for a title.
You were
Yeah,
heading,
and I'm not
in the
gonna
J-Mark
I'm not
train.
backing
Yeah,
off.
I'm not
There
backing
wasn't a
off of it.
whole lot of other J-Mark talk out there.
No, but I'm not gonna back off of it after 2 motos, dude. Like
I mean,
Hermé,
don't get me wrong. J-Mark looked good the other day. I don't know if he was 2014, 2015, whatever it was, he won his first title there.
2014 was his
J-Mark
first title.
form. But he looked good. He definitely is
But he didn't
one
look
of the
like
best
that
of the
guy.
rest.
he didn't look. I'm just saying it's.
But
No,
I'm
he
just
doesn't look
saying,
like
you
that.
have a guy coming off a Supercross title. He comes out, goes 1-1 the first round. He's fastest I mean,
Did you think AC was gonna go undefeated last year?
He just
Hang on. So what are we on? You think he's gonna go undefeated?
I don't think he's going to go undefeated.
'Cause that was kind of like my
that wasn't
question,
the point I was getting to. I'm just
The
saying,
point
all
was,
these
is
guys,
the competition afraid of him?
all these guys, championship-wise, are they like?
No, because
fuck.
they beat him before. They're not afraid of him. If you beat somebody, you're never afraid of that person because
I
you can
think-
channel it and do it again.
And all of us as fans, we get sucked up in the first round thing where we need to
We
look
do
at
it
it
in
differently.
Supercross.
Like, it's just the first round.
I mean, I'm not here saying 18-0.
don't
That
think
is
about
not
Barsha.
what I'm going after. I'm just going. If I'm sitting on that
So
line,
did you call Barsha for a title after you did good the first round?
No.
See, that's the point.
But
What- okay,
Barsha
so what
didn't
happens if he
win a
goes-
fucking Supercross title and isn't the alpha fucking guy? in
He's
the
not the
class?
alpha. He's not the alpha guy. He's never won an outdoor title. Until you win an outdoor title, you can't say just because people think you're the fastest guy that you're the alpha. He's never won an outdoor title. Supercross cleared away the alpha guy. But until he wins an outdoor
There's a
title,
lot of people in the industry right now.
Did he-
that would
I don't
fight you on
ca-
this.
I
They
don't
would
care.
Fight you hard on this.
I don't care. Did he win an outdoor title last year?
No, he did
He
not.
didn't beat AC.
And AC.
And how many moments did
And
Frenchie?
AC's gone. So who
But
was
how many
second? Who was
moments did
second
Frenchie have
year?
last
Who
year?
was second last year?
What? Frenchie was.
Exactly my fucking point.
Who was
Okay,
third?
and who was third and beat him quite a few motos last year? Justin Cooper. What happened to him?
Okay.
So do we think that Justin Cooper's going to ride like that all year?
Has a boxer's fracture in his hand.
Okay.
His fucking end of Supercross was about as shitty as you could possibly get.
How about Shane McElrath? How about what he did the first moto? Were we going to Shane going to do that all year?
Let's get into Shane. I think he rode well.
Shane
Oh.
went 4-4.
He did a lot better than I think what I expected.
So is he
Yeah,
going to?
that was
Okay.
better than I
So
thought,
is he
too.
going to do that all year?
I mean, maybe, but 4.
Oh, okay.
Four all year.
All right.
Next topic. Who's next?
Next
What are you
topic.
talking about?
Shane's
so
gonna
a
go
top five-
4-4 the whole
so,
entire
so
year.
a top 5 dude, a top 5.
Is he going
dude,
18-0?
Wait,
top
did you
five?
just say Shane's a top 5 guy?
I mean,
He is not a top 5 guy.
maybe.
I think he is this year.
I don't see it.
You don't,
No.
you don't think with that bike, it
I
bites
literally
that
asked-
little
no.
bike?
Actually, like I said, I want to see more rounds because Hunter Lawrence had a bad day. Those guys are other guys that should be up there.
I literally sat here and asked you, because you're more of a critic of Shane than he is. So I asked you on the preview show, hey, can Shane win a moto this year? Because he did it. Apparently, we all thought he did it once.
He did
Somebody
one, he
said
won
he did.
two.
Apparently, he won 2 motos. And you said, no, you don't think so. And I asked you, okay, what's he going to be? And you basically straight up said, oh, he'll be a top 10 guy.
Yep.
So now after 2 motos, he's all of a sudden a top 5 guy.
They look good.
I don't care. It was 2 motos. So what happens if he goes and gets 8-8 this next weekend? Is he a top 10 guy again? I don't like I can't do the fluctuating thing. I have to see more races.
I mean, I have to see more races too.
It's like him with Fortner. Every time I try to sell him on Fortner, he's
yeah.
like, oh
Let's not
no.
go there.
By the way, it's chick. They're not together anymore.
Oh, the wedding's off?
Yeah,
no.
breaking news, they split like your legs
Yeah.
for the rest of the pod.
Yeah, but she basically called him out
Wow.
on social media.
Wow.
So anyways,
Somebody was
no.
like, did you guys break up? And she said, I want
She's
a
like,
man."
I want a man. Oh, because he got hurt and he didn't win that championship. Now all of a sudden you need a man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Anyways, so no, Shane.
Breaking news, shocking, right?
But I also
hang on. If you want to get into more Moto TMZ stuff, AC's Instagram's girlless now too.
Oh boy, that's
Actually, that might be a good thing for him though.
That's
I don't believe the whole Chris Kiefer thing. Like,
home life, bro.
Yeah.
Dude, Tomac was talking about it in the press conference. Home
Tomac's
life.
got a kid.
Yeah,
that's
you might
not-
be. AC doesn't seem like the guy going out and chasing
Yeah,
that.
yeah, he doesn't.
No.
He's too like hunky dory, Missouri.
Yeah.
Anyways.
All I'm saying is that Dylan is the alpha guy
How do we get back to Dylan?
in the fucking class. Because we're not done with this conversation.
Well, we are because
We
there's
are.
nothing really to talk. He went out and
Cameron's
killed it.
about to
Both.
die.
He went out and killed it both motos.
Cameron's not about to die.
But Shane, no, I think that track fit him. Line selection, being smart, being patient. That's Shane's style.
Okay, great.
So what are we gonna do when we go to Redbud where it's fucking super deep ruts and you gotta hold it wide open?
That was practice, Ellis.
Yeah, and I'm not buying into it. Or when we go to fucking WW where it's deep sand, I don't buy into it. Oh, it's not. Oh, okay.
It's pretty hard base.
It's a sand track. It's not.
So, anyways, I'm not buying into it. I'm not. I like Shane. I picked him for a Supercross.
Are you still on J Mark for the title?
Yeah, I'm not changing it after 2 motos. Why would I do that? I picked Frenchie last year and stuck with it all the way till the end, and he still lost.
Good that you stick to your
Yeah, I don't, jump bandwagons and shit. And I also find it funny that you're on the Frenchie bandwagon now when I'm the guy that like talked about him more than
I'm not on the
anything.
bandwagon. I'm just stating facts here. The facts are you have a guy coming off of back-to-back Supercross titles.
Okay.
The only person that beat him last year is no longer in the class, and he goes out the first fucking race at a track, which, like Cole said, he had 0 experience at, and he whooped everyone who had already been there.
And I can also say that
times.
the track was
If he
nothing
walked
like.
through the door right now, would you kiss him on the lips?
No.
I can also say that when half of those guys that raced there, other than Mason Gonzalez, Schwartz, and Robertson, that rode that track, the track was nothing like it when they rode it.
I will agree with that.
Yeah. When RJ Hampshire rode that track was nothing like it was last Saturday.
Well, we'll see in a couple of weeks.
So what happens if he goes? So if he goes 2-2?
What
What happens if he goes 2-2 this next weekend?
Oh, okay, great.
Okay, so you're still saying that all of a sudden he's the alpha male because he went
Yeah.
2-2?
What if J-Mark goes 1-1?
Yeah. What if J Mar goes 1-1?
I don't think J Mart's got it anymore.
Oh my.
I'll be 100% honest. I don't think he has that last little level for title contention like he used to. I don't
Speaking
think
of Martins, can we change this subject?
We talking about Amar?
J-Mark rode really well.
Amar
He did. He had some
Great.
intensity. Maybe he was getting sick and tired of getting his
Sick
ass
and
beat by
tired
his
of
brother.
his brother. whooping his
5-5 for 5th overall.
He rode good. Hit the deck a little bit too many times, but
Well,
yeah, he went down twice
Yeah.
in the first moto.
Did he?
yeah.
It's not like anything hard, but he hit the ground twice.
Is anybody impressed with RJ Hampshire's ride? Coming back
Yes.
off that knee surgery.
And that is exactly why.
I saw Eldon again. Saw him.
Oh,
Media away.
Did you ask
He
him?
didn't have a mask on.
Did you ask
Of
him
course
if he had
not. Why would
anything
he?
for it?
I was gonna ask him what kind of dope he pumped into his knee.
There's
Put some EPOs in there.
Dude.
Cause that thing healed really quickly.
They even talked about it on the broadcast.
Uh-huh.
But that is exactly why RJ was my guy. That I said that hey, if he's gonna slide into that the three group, or the guy of Cooper, J Martin, Frenchie, and possibly title contenders, that's why. Dude, he was on rails.
He was.
good. But
Really?
Really?
excuse me.
That's his
No, I'm gonna do it.
What we've seen in the past is he'll have good rides like that, and
Yeah.
then the next round he'll just shit the bed.
Yeah.
We'll see
So-
what
Well,
happens.
that's why we didn't call him for a title either. Though.
No.
I just said that he's the one guy that can disrupt.
Yeah, I think so too. I could see him
I
getting a
know
moto
that.
win, especially after riding that good the first one, because his knee's only gonna get
Yeah,
better.
because the last time he raced was Daytona.
Yeah.
So you got to think he hasn't raced in how many
So
months.
I could definitely see that. I still could see J Mark getting moto win. I'm just saying
Well, J Martin's gonna get moto.
the
There's no
dominant
seeding.
force in this title is gonna be Dylan.
So how about the Lawrence brother? Underwhelming.
Well,
Well, Hunter's bike went the first moto.
Jet hit the deck about 87 times, so
Did you happen to listen to? Do you listen to Daniel Blair's podcast, Man About Moto?
I
You-
do, but I haven't.
Did you? Oh, so you didn't listen to the 250 preview?
Yes, I did.
Did you hear the comment around the industry about the way people perceive Jet as far as this outdoor situation? About they do not believe that he will ever actually win anything of significance when it comes to outdoors.
Hunter's the outdoor
That
guy.
doesn't surprise me, but
Jet's
yes.
the supercross.
But everybody's on the Jet bandwagon, and for good reason. Kid's
Yes.
probably got the most natural talent we've seen out of a
Yes.
rider since
In a while.
God knows, I can't even really think of anybody in the last 10 years. But the way he lives his life, I say lifestyle, he's a 6-year-old kid, but the way he lives his life, the way he does things, goofy.
Yep. being
He's
out there.
he's about being in front of the stadium and the crowd, and
Yep.
they think that a lot of people in the industry think that he is going to put more effort into Supercross. his
Hunter
entire
likes
career.
that he likes that lifestyle.
Yeah, he does. And you can, what you talk about is some of the stuff that you see on social media.
On TikTok.
Yeah, the weird stuff he does. And I
Where
think
Hunter isn't like that. He's more of an outdoor
well, he
guy.
was like that in the GPs. He was very low key. But Blair basically said he's like, I can't see Jet grinding it out for 35 minutes 2 times a weekend
No.
for an entire summer.
No.
And you know what?
Although I
I
could
kind
see,
of agree with that.
I could see
I
him
do.
doing like a McGrath of like he wins all the Supercross stuff, gets a little older, and then people start talking about.
No,
how
he goes to MCR Honda in 3 years, stamp it supercross.
Well, that's even a lot better than because from the way he made it sound, there's a lot of people in the industry who just don't think he's ever going to do anything outdoors. There'll be like flashes, but then it's
Yeah.
like that's it.
Well, like I said, I could see him as he gets older, getting tired of hearing that, and then pulling an MC out of his ass and like winning an outdoor title
I
one
mean,
year,
he's got the
just to
talent
prove
do it.
everyone wrong.
He's still very young.
But
Yeah.
I still see a lot of what happened this weekend where he's just up, down, up, down. Like that's all. That's like his whole entire weekend was up, down.
Yeah, but dude, we figured that he's a rookie and he is wild, absolutely. absolutely wild.
Does Jet have more crazy moments that, well, if we even get to see him, do we believe that Jet probably has the craziest moments of anybody in the 250 class this year, though?
Yes.
What, like sketchy?
Like sketchy, like he's fucking just completely about to pitch it sideways and then somebody brings it back.
What about whackers?
Who?
Or McAdoo. Yeah.
What? Yeah, people call him whackers.
Yeah.
I don't know what was up with him. Like that, I don't know what, if he was buried in the first moto,
Yeah,
but...
I mean,
buried in the first moto.
I could see him having more sketchy moments, actually, than Jet.
Well, McAdoo just needs to be out of 450.
Yeah,
'Cause
well,
just way
he's
too big
wild.
for 250.
He's fucking wild. Oh, good. Everything fine. Situation normal. But
Saw Nick Way walking through there.
yeah,
Good looking dude.
He's a good-looking
he is
guy.
a good looking guy.
He's a good-looking
Every
guy.
Every time I see him, I'm
He had a
like,
lit kit on too, dude.
Nah.
Nice button down, rocking the fuck out of a mask. Some nice khaki, dude. Look
you
good.
are getting your knees in front of him too, or what?
He looked good.
Hey, though, speaking of Cali guy, though, I know he didn't get a top 10 because of...
No, talking about Mitchell Harrison.
yeah, can we talk about that first moto?
Sure. I mean, he looked pretty good until he
Pretty
hit
good.
the deck.
Wow. Yeah, but pretty good. What do you mean? He was running 5th.
Well,
We talk about Jet Lawrence and we're talking about what everybody else is doing. Like, he had, like, they were trying to close the gap on him and he just kept inching away every lap.
Yep. But then he hit the deck. I mean, that's frustrating. And then bike didn't start. That's double frustrating.
Yeah, well, it's a
I mean,
What
Kawasaki.
happened in the second one?
What?
What happened in the second one?
You know, in
He
his,
got knifed.
in his picture on Racer X, he looks super fat in his face. I'm just
Yeah,
saying. I know
wow.
he's not. I'm just
Yeah, I was
saying.
about to say, that kid is...
I like had to double take on it when I was making my notes because I was like, what the hell?
I honestly think that he probably just pushed it a little bit harder than he was expecting to, because you're talking about AMAR pressure, and you got to think he hasn't raced in God knows how long. And I think that he just caught up to him. But see, that's what's good about this, because even though he wasn't as impressive that second moto, and you could tell he had some fatigue, he still was easily top 10. So for all the people, and I know none of them watch it, but I'm looking right at the camera, all I heard on all the previous shows was how Mitchell was not going to be a top 10 guy. And guys like Mosman and all the rookies and everybody had him covered. And what happened?
Well, Mosman's hurt.
Yeah, but when he comes back, I don't see Mosman. I don't
You
see
don't think
Mosman.
Mosman has Harrison covered?
No, not even close. I
But
think
the
Mitchell
guys
does.
that had bad days. So you talk about Hunter Lawrence or something like that. Does he put him back a spot? Do you believe that?
Yeah, but
faster
but if
than
you
those
but I
guys?
go off the first moto is more where his speed is.
Okay,
The second
so
moto.
I mean, I think he can be in the top 10. Don't get me wrong. I think it's somewhat start dependent because I mean, you run down this list of top 10. Who is he straight up faster than?
Doesn't matter with
Like,
Mitchell. Speed
straight up.
Straight up speed is not what Mitchell's about.
I
That's
mean-
why in practice he goes out and qualifies 14th.
I mean,
His endurance at the end of the motos is what separates him out from everybody else.
So again, of these top 10 dudes, who is his endurance better than?
Well, we're not going to talk about Frenchie, RJ, and Martin.
Okay.
I can see on
we want
weekends.
to get Justin fired up. Let's talk about.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get fired. up.
I can tell you right now that him and Jet are pretty much the exact same speed.
Okay, I'll give
I
you that.
see Amar not doing that consistently. McAdoo, I'm telling you right now, he's better than. Justin Cooper, that was off.
You think Mitchell Harrison is better than Cameron McAdoo?
Dude, he was yarding him.
You're
California.
strictly talking outdoors, right?
Yeah, we're not talking about
okay,
Supercross.
all right. I just
No,
want to
I
double
wasn't
check.
talking about
I just
Supercross.
want to double check.
This is not a Supercross show right
I
now.
would put him better.
Sexton was guarding everybody out in California too.
Mason
We'll
Gonzalez.
get to that in the
Yeah.
450 series.
Faster than Mason Gonzalez. Definitely know he's faster
Mason
than
Gonzalez,
Brandon.
Yes.
I definitely know he's faster than Brandon. And once again, Hunter Lawrence, we can talk about that. That's going to put it in there. But yeah, so you're talking about maybe 5 guys that I can say on any given weekend are have him covered? Yes.
And where would Marchbanks be?
I honestly think that he is probably the same speed, if not faster than Marchbanks. Because I don't trust Marchbanks for 35 minutes.
Your heart is way too in this one, man.
Why? What did Marchbanks do last year outdoors?
Your heart is way too in this
What
one.
did Marchbanks do outdoors last year?
Dude, I don't
He was
remember.
he was in and out of the
The
top
only thing I
10.
remember from last year is AC won the 250 title and Eli won the 450 title. Other than
Brandon
that, I don't have anything other than-
Hartraft was faster than him
and Marv
outdoors.
blew his knee up. That's
Yeah.
pretty much it.
Brandon Hartraft was faster than Marchbanks consistently last year.
Like I said, don't get me wrong. I think he could be in the top 10.
Now, if you added Fortner into this conversation, then you put another person back. But I've also seen that Mitchell, in a down year in 2018, caught and passed Fortner plenty of times.
But I think that him with most of those guys you just listed off, I think him outside of Dylan, RJ, and J-Mart, and Justin Cooper, if he gets his head out of his ass here, I think they're all on the same level. So I think it's going to be start dependent.
So his endurance is going to be better than them, though. Because I'll put his fitness up against anybody other than maybe Frenchie and J Martin in that 250 class.
Martin wore him down at the end when he
Like I
blasted
said,
that corner out.
First race in how long?
We'll see.
I'm just telling you.
We're gonna see, but I
He looked smoked. I mean, obviously he had to kick a bike over, but goggles were off. Everything.
Oh, yeah.
Immediately peeled the goggles
Oh,
off.
Like I
well,
said,
I'm not
though-
even talking about the crash moto, like the stall moto there. I mean, that's just whatever. That's I stalled this weekend, which is stupid.
I'm not surprised.
What was after that little fucking? You know what Ziegler? They got. You go back where the rollers used to be.
What was Ziegler podcast at?
Anyway, yeah, we'll talk about it.
But can we talk about Justin Cooper?
He's got boxers.
He went to Dunkin' Donuts in the morning.
Okay,
so
yeah, wait, hold on. You just saw 3 people there. Let's hear this.
I walked straight into Dunkin' Donuts, and it's the most methed out Dunkin' Donuts I've probably ever met.
Well, you're the-
I asked for
Over
cream
Tennessee.
cheese on my bagel, and the guy at the thing said,
Come down it.
the guy was like, wow, that's the most complicated bagel I've ever heard of. I've never heard of cream cheese on a bagel. I said, cool, I'll go down to fucking Big Beaver and just have them on there. Anyway,
Was there really a big beat down the road?
no. Anyway,
I go to Starbucks. What?
walked right in. Cody shocked at me.
Did you say hey?
FXR'd out. I looked at him, I said,
Is Michael Lindsay with him?
So,
you and Jay walked this fight or what?
You did not.
No, I didn't. I didn't.
Piece of shit.
And then we're about to go down a rabbit trail. Anyway, look out the window.
got nothing but damn you.
Christian Craig's sitting in the drive-thru.
Oh, Jesus.
He shit the bed all day too.
I don't
he
think
did.
that
He's
is-
sitting in
I
the
don't think
drive-thru. He's got Paige shitting shotgun with a fucking GoPro, just vlogging the shit. No,
That's probably what it was.
I'm just kidding.
I don't think that has
I
anything to
didn't.
do
I
with
didn't.
Dunkin' Donuts though.
I didn't see Jagger or anything. Anyway, they're in the drive-thru. Next thing I know, my other buddy's like, "Look at Justin Cooper." And Justin Cooper's chick was driving, and they were all talking about his chick. So my buddy started.
Is this chick hot? I don't think I've ever seen her.
Not bad,
Oh, he
but
had
it looks
a
like
chick.
she's rich as shit. So
She's got Gucci on.
my buddy pulls her Instagram up. We're scrolling through there. She's fucking on a private jet, flying wherever she wants. And
Was his head slightly tilted to the right?
no, it's tilted to the left, like on her shoulder, like baby.
No, I'm just saying, like, if you ever look at Cooper, like, when he rides, his head's
Oh.
always tilted to the right.
Anyway, Cooper must be flying private to all the races, so got a bougie.
Well, I'm curious what he's offering her, so anyways.
Yeah, I don't know what he's offering her either.
Last podcast I heard from him, he did a chick, so this needs to be similar.
Well, yeah, I guess he found this one and this one. This one's got a private
Gables
jet.
area.
Huh.
This one, her dad's got a private jet or something. I don't know. It's bougie.
Interesting.
And they were speeding on the highway.
Where are they driving?
They were driving an Impala.
Story about shit.
Yeah, it was a rental car. Anyway, he must have been nervous all day. Maybe
Well,
they
does he have
slipped,
a chick?
they slipped a little meth in the fucking.
Meth? Wow.
Dude, everybody in there making sandwiches and stuff were like,
So it's like,
scratching
so it's like
your
a
mouth.
White Castle in Kentucky.
oh, dude, Tennessee's different.
All right, anyways, who else? But can we talk about
Well,
him?
all three of those dudes rode
For
cheap.
just a split second, though. Okay, he has the boxer fracture. We know that.
Yeah.
How long do we think that affects him for, though? Because I'm going to be honest with you. Everybody knows that watches this show knows I am not a big fan of Justin Cooper. But those two motos were atrocious. They were horrible.
They were terrible.
I mean, what was the stat? Like, he was second off the line that first moto, right? Second going into the woods.
Yeah.
Because Shane ripped the start.
Yeah.
How many times last year did he get a start and fade that badly? I think it was like, what, once maybe?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was thinking, oh, he got the start. Oh, okay, it's going to be another Justin Cooper thing. He's just going to sprint.
He paid it, dude.
He's going to sprint real hard for about 4 or 5 laps, gap. Dude, it's going to be a long season.
It is. I think it's going to be a long season for him. I think that crash he had before the end of Supercross there, like 3 days before they went to Utah or whatever, really fucked him up. And then now he's got the boxer fracture too. So I don't expect a whole lot from him this whole outdoor season.
No,
really.
he's got a girlfriend that just sleeps in money every night. He doesn't even need to raise.
Jesus.
You want to talk about Mason Gonzalez, though, for a second?
Dude, impressive. Impressive.
Dude, he looked good, solid too. He didn't look out of control.
He straight put it to Styles and Schwartz.
Yeah. I'll be curious to see what
Schwartz
happens.
had an up and down week anyway at Loretta.
Schwartz
he
is kind of
came
an
out
idiot.
one, and then the rest was like.
I will be curious, though, because I know we talked about it in the group chat, that if he gets a start this next week, when the track probably breaks down a little bit more like what Loretta's would normally do.
Yeah.
I'll be curious what to see. I'm not calling a top 5 or any of that
Are you
bullshit.
talking about Schwartz?
Yes, but I'll be curious to see what he does if he yanks a hole.
I heard that JGR or Suzuki, somebody offered him like Alex Martin's setup so that he would have better options type deal, and he told him no. So I'm like,
I did see like
that motor's better.
It was J-Bone or something like that. It was like, hey, we're watching it or something.
yeah. So
Well,
I heard he got offered that because obviously he's on a Suzuki.
I look like Isaac P's head took it again.
He wasn't there though. I don't think.
There was somebody there on a JGR replica bike.
Weird.
Number
Yeah,
8.
But no, very, very impressive. I'll tell you what, if he keeps riding like that the rest of the summer here,
I will also say though that he got good starts. I'm not taking anything away from Mason Gonzalez. He's really fast.
That's what we kept saying is that he is the man. So,
Well, he's also like 130 pounds.
This Gonzalez did as good a start.
yeah,
he just started like
super good.
Yeah, well, I'm pretty
Is
sure he
anybody,
was.
this is really, really early to talk about silly season stuff, but is there anybody out the door at Star?
No,
Well, Christian's taking a spot,
They're
so
way
that's Frenchie's
full.
spot.
there's a lot.
Well,
of
he also
teams
we
that
didn't
are
even
way-
talk about him in the previous show because he's hurt, but Ty Masterpool when he comes back,
Yeah, but this is last year on the contract, and I heard he's done after that.
he's done with the team.
I-
They'd be
Probably.
stupid.
Probably won't get some Supercross.
I've heard that it's a issue of A, being full, and B, he doesn't run Supercross.
Well, he's never going to ride Supercross for any team. His parents,
Yeah, I
his
know.
mom and dad have made that clear since day one.
He should probably go to the GPs. If
He'd
I was-
actually be pretty good.
If I was him, that's what I would do.
But the kid's got
He's not
speed.
gonna
We
race
saw
Supercross.
what he did last year.
Oh yeah.
By the way, the last thing we'll say about that, you talk about silly season. Did you guys see what I texted in the group chat about Garrett Marchbanks?
The Cowie's dropping him.
The Cowie's dropping him.
I've heard it other places too.
I don't know. That's what
I,
everybody
I
else is
heard it.
wondering.
I heard it on another podcast.
Well,
too.
Blair's got inside information. He's not letting it go. But yeah, apparently Marchbanks is out the door.
Uh-huh.
Pro circuit.
Which is fucking nuts. To me.
And Jordan Smith yet again gets another year
Dude,
off.
I mean, say if I'm firing anybody, it's Jordan Smith.
Well, if
he's not worth my
Marchbanks
fucking
would go.
time. Where's Mark?
Also, the other hot rumor is silly season, Barsha to MCR.
Gotta hope. Well, we'll talk about it. I hope not after the way he rode. He just needs to be in a contract year.
He's out of Yamaha.
I know, but he just,
Yeah,
well,
he
Frenchie's
rode
taking his
really,
spot.
really
He needs a
well.
contract year. I don't know where Marchbanks would go, to be honest with you. Because
I have no
Geico's
idea
full.
either. Yeah, that.
Gas. I heard Gas threw money in Fernandez.
We'll talk about that.
Well, because
when we get
Hammaker
closer
is
to
going to
silly
take his
season
spot.
Because
So.
I've heard a bunch of different things. I've heard Gas. I've also heard that Star is taking the 450 deal, and there's going to be 3 spots. And then I heard Star is doing a 450 deal, and there's going to be 2 450 spots there. And then Yamaha's still going to stay around with the factory team. There's going to
Well,
be 2
then
spots
I can
there.
almost guarantee that Frenchie's going to stay with Star.
Frenchie will stay with Yamaha. I heard that Shane's going to too. if
Shane will
that's
be
the-
the star for
No,
that. I guess.
if that's the thing, but that's all rumor speculation. So anyway, anything else with 250s here, and then we'll move on to 450s because we're going long on the show.
I can't really think of anybody. Joe Shimoda. That was, I don't know what happened to him. I was expecting a little bit more. And same thing, well, Carson Mumford. What? Shimoda?
There's a lot.
Dude, he was like 18th.
Hold
He was like 8. We're not going to talk about Japanese. He was like 18th and 19th, man. I was also impressed with Carson Mumford that first moto, but then like you could tell that he just gassed
He did
himself.
Yeah, but he's got speed, and we can work with speed.
Anyways,
So. All right, cool. Then we will take another quick break, come back with 450s, and get this show all wrapped up. Okay, we're back. 450s, big boys here.
really good racing. I mean, not a lot as far as like there was a lot of passing.
It reminded me of the GPs freight train,
Yeah, it definitely shows that.
but they weren't going at each other's throats 33 minutes.
Yeah,
I was gonna say-
nobody was fucking. You were sweeping a corner, and somebody was just gonna go completely straight out and chop your front end off.
At the 30th minute.
Yeah, well, even in like fucking the last lap.
The first 5 minutes of that first 450 moto, I thought I was living in like a completely different universe. You have JGR bikes 1-2 off the line. for the
Well, if you
whole
want to
shot.
cause that first lap,
Oh
dude,
my
there were
God,
4
Suzuki's are good. Quit shitting on them.
I knew
And
they were
then-
great. Max, fucking Joey, Frederick Dorn with a whole shot.
And then
A whole shot.
Chase goes around the outside of Tomac.
Royal Distributing. Oh shit.
God, I love the Canadian announcers.
Oh my god, dude! I was like, this is a different universe.
Both
I don't even know what the
motos
fuck is
were. There was a lot of stories within stories
There
going
was.
on in that moto.
Yeah,
So let's start out with my boy Zacho 2-1.
Oh, we're gonna go by. Okay, I thought we were gonna maybe go moto by moto, but anyway.
Let's go moto by moto.
Okay, fine. Moto 1. Anderson.
Did anybody
impressive.
see Jason Anderson going out and pulling a
Yeah,
10
did
second?
anybody?
No!
And then going Gap City.
On
Yeah.
that track of all things, a track that, like, with his loose, ragged style, just doesn't really.
Did
Like,
not see
Jason's
it.
a very smart guy as far as racecraft, but I was not going to see a very technical, like, find a rut, stick to it, and follow it through the transition. Like, that was going to be the track that Anderson was going to go pull 10 seconds. That was not, no. I was super impressed with that.
Yeah,
I did not see that.
That was an impressive, impressive ride.
I don't know what he said on TV or anything.
Yeah, I
didn't
didn't
get to
watch
watch
the
the
interviews.
interview, but they're on the ground. Everybody, he threw a shot at Eldon Kenny style. Everybody's like, well, because I'm not working with Eldon anymore. Nobody really expected me, but I'm doing my thing. I'm in shape, and I think
I feel like
proved
he did
it.
say something like that on TV too. I don't remember. I guess
You
it
could-
didn't affect me that much.
You could tell though that,
But in the second one, it looked like
it gassed him a
Yeah.
little bit. Yeah, but I mean, still though, the fact
That's
that
a
he went and did
start.
that.
That's a start.
I was very impressed.
I
He
was
wasn't
too.
the person I was most impressed with in the 450 class. We'll get to him a little bit down the list. But it's definitely not where I was going.
Okay, good. Because if you went there, I'd be like, wow, you are stupid.
No, it's
100%
definitely
down.
his Achilles tendon is still fucking killing him.
Oh, here it
here
is.
comes the excuses.
Hey, listen, assholes.
Hey,
Hey, shut up. Did I not say on the preview show that he literally is coming off, he's been on the bike for a month, an Achilles tendon?
Hey, pay attention to how many of these GP boys come over. And
But I
jump
do.
right
I
on
will
the train.
say, I'm on the GP train now. I've been watching.
I've heard the GPs are
If
really good. I haven't
Jaskin is
watched
or
mine.
whatever comes over here.
Jessiconis.
He's good.
I mean, it's Jessiconis.
Did he send you the password for the thing?
No, I had another friend that bought it, so.
Okay, good.
But I
If
can
he sent it
read
to
your
you, not
password
me, I
every
would
night
be
so I can
pissed.
watch them instead of having to go to his house.
Why don't you just ask for his password? Then you could ask to try to give it to Travis.
Yeah, I haven't watched.
Anyways, Arminus Jessiconis. Yeah, that's who you're talking
Anyway,
He's sweet.
okay. What else do we
Giant.
want to talk about that first moto?
about. How about
the Tomac fade?
The
Yeah,
Tomac
that was
fade.
weird.
Is it also weird too when he has these
But
weird
it wasn't
finishes
weird.
seventh?
You guys just think it's weird because he actually pulled the whole Supercross season and we didn't see
No.
one of those oopsie motos.
I just find it weird. Like, I think the chassis was super stiff, and especially with that track, like, it's just, you were tensing up, you pumped up, you
His
could tell.
bike did not look good.
But I was surprised by the fact that he didn't have it the entire moto.
He had
Like,
no flow.
some of these motos, like, when he
either
struggles.
him or Webb. You can throw Webb in that same
Well,
one.
Webb was the second moto, in my opinion. The Webb, he will do.
Even in the first one.
Yeah, but
The
he did.
second locked up.
Yeah, I don't. But usually with Eli though, at least with some of these motos where he has these weird moments, like you could see flashes. He has pace for 2 or 3 laps. Even WW last year, like there were moments you're like something's going on with him because he put in a heater and then drop off. Dude, he was just not there the entire first moto.
Nope,
Um,
not at all.
But I want to talk about the guy that I am most impressed with,
Okay, let's hear this.
Justin Barsha.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say that.
What do you mean? Oh my God, dude, he came
Dude,
from
he came
fucking
from
what?
so far back.
18?
He did have a really good.
Where in the hell did that come from? Like all of a sudden I'm sitting there at the 25-minute mark and I'm like,
Dude, same
No.
thing like there in person. I was like, is that Barsha just
And I-
past AC?
and I wasn't
And then he
seeing
didn't
it.
stop with AC. He went around Tomac. He went around Marv. He
Yeah.
went around.
I wasn't, and I couldn't see the ticker, and I'm like, oh, Barsha's a lap down. He's getting lapped. And I'm like, wait, no, he's not getting lapped.
No. He was going to the front.
Does anybody believe
And he had
that
a terrible start in the second moto. Like if he
if he got a
if he got a
start?
start, dude,
I think he wins it.
he could have won it.
I do.
But does anybody else think that it's track dependent with that Yamaha, the way we've seen stuff?
I just think
happen?
Barsha is a contract year guy. I know that people have said it, and it's like people
That
dismiss
didn't
it.
really show in Salt Lake City.
I was gonna say this is what I'm talking
Well,
about.
I don't think he was training though.
Because in Salt Lake City, but in Salt Lake City, him and
Even like
AP were
after
saying
about
that
the
bike
fourth or
sucked.
fifth round, he was just there.
Yeah, I don't know. I just
If you put it on a hard slick track, that bike's terrible. But you put it on a track like this where it's deep, it's ruddy, that kind of stuff.
the
bike
RV's been
is
testing
way
a
better.
lot. RV's been testing with those guys a lot, like a lot. But that's still RV's setup is way different. He sacked out rear end, front end high. Like I don't know how that's going to translate to Barsha riding. But anyways, my point is that I didn't see that coming, and I think
didn't either.
I think when he passed Tomac, I think somebody said, or I think they said that he was like 4 seconds a lap faster than anybody else that lap, and that includes Anderson and Zacho and everybody up front.
Yep.
If he does it again, it'll be very interesting. Like I know we said this in Supercross, but he's always been better in Supercross. I know he has out like I don't know.
Flash is brilliant outdoor.
If he can do it again, it kind of starts making you think like, hey, can he keep this rolling? Like, is this a But
Yeah, they started talking about MCR Honda, then that means he's not going overseas.
God, I'd rather see both.
I don't see him doing MCR.
That's
I-
Supercross only. Though.
I can't see him going back to Honda.
That
No.
new Honda might be good.
No, not that. Like he burned bridges with Honda. Like,
2021 is
yeah.
good.
What do you do?
He just talking a lot of shit. Like, hey, they didn't
Well,
train
that's
him.
exactly what he's doing about the Yamaha.
Yeah, but I
Bad
mean,
reads in there.
and that's what I mean. Like, I don't. He's gonna burn every bridge with every manufacturer.
Yeah,
Also like that read.
Gas.
Yeah, that's what I'm checking.
Gas.
Maybe MCR has a different manufacturer.
Well, Glenn Koldenoff and fucking even his teammate were pretty good. So Bikes are pretty good.
That's Rhino. That's all Rhino.
Are we gonna talk about Zach at all?
Sure.
I
No,
mean-
we're gonna get there.
Whoa.
We're not there yet.
Yeah, we're not there
Okay,
yet.
where do we want to go next?
Superman Catanzaro AC.
Well, I mean,
Adam Catanzaro.
So, are you still did you say you think he gets a win this year?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
You don't?
No.
He's out front and did what he does.
Well,
He
I mean,
did what he
yeah,
does.
That was the thing.
Yeah, I don't see it.
All right, let me ask you this: who do you think gets a win first, him or Sexton?
Neither.
Seriously?
No!
You were not impressed with Sexton at all this weekend?
I didn't say I wasn't impressed with them, but I don't. Once again, I'm not going to keep putting all this investment in the first 2 motos of the year. And you keep saying about Loretta's being start dependent. What happens if Chase would have got a 20th place start? You still think he would have been in the top 5?
Dude, how about late in that second moto with Chase?
And what happened in the first moto?
Well, the first moto he crashed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you still don't think he's going to crash this year?
We watched that. I didn't say he wasn't going to crash.
I do not see Chase putting it together for 35 minutes at any point this year and being faster than Osborne.
So what do you call that
Tomac.
second moto then?
Did he win?
He was on the box and he actually was getting passed by guys like Baggett and other people who had won and then turned
Well,
around
I'm not gonna
and
talk
went
about-
back forward.
I'm not going to talk about Baggett, but
Like-
okay, so
like he was literally getting passed by people and then was like, oh shit, took a breath and then went back by them.
so
To get out of the
Yeah,
box.
but he didn't catch a Tomac or an Osborne.
yeah.
Well, no.
And Marv is only going to get better this year, and he was a lot better than I thought he was. So
Marv,
he's not going to have Marv covered.
Yes.
And Barsha was
If
clearly
Webb
faster
figures
than
this shit out.
And Barsha was clearly faster than him in the first moto. Baggett, I'm going to say, I said they called him for a win, I still believe that. But I'm not counting Baggett as like fucking every weekend. He's like literally moto.
Baggett did put 2 consistent motos in.
Yeah, man, well, that was
Which
impressive.
is impressive, yeah. For Baggett.
So, okay, and same thing, I just don't see either of them getting it. But if I were to pick one, I would say I see AC getting the win. Because AC, in my opinion, has the outright speed to do it. I don't think Chase has the outright speed.
I mean, I don't know if both of them are
There's
going
a
to win.
lot of stock in Sexton. I don't know why.
No.
Because that Alpine Star contract, that's big money.
I heard he was smoking Kenny at the test track.
Yeah, and everybody.
You really think Kenny was putting full effort in?
And do you
on
also
the
buy
other
in?
guys?
Do you also think that matters
No.
to Kenny? Because Kenny doesn't
No,
give
but
two shits in practice half the time.
I'm just gonna say, I'll ask you because you're not in this. You're a rider. When you go to the practice track, if somebody that you know is blowing by you, it doesn't irk you a little bit where you go back at them?
Depends on how I'm feeling that day.
Well, yes, but I'm just saying, think about it. If you run with the same people day after day after day, and you know you're supposed to be smoking somebody, and they're all of a sudden smoking you, even if you know, hey, I'm not riding this outdoor
On a
season.
consistent basis?
Yeah. There isn't at some point you're just going to go like,
That's
"Look,
not-
I got to show them.
I'm not Ken Roxon. though.
He's not Ken Roxon. I was
If
about to say
I was
that's not.
that, maybe Ken Roxon's like, I got a kid on the way. I'm not gonna be racing outdoors.
I don't.
I'm not gonna be disrespectful to Cole because I know Cole's a good rider, but comparing even just amateur to pro
I'm just
level.
asking
Yeah.
mindset wise.
Yeah, but it's not the same thing though because, like
those
you
guys'
said,
mindset's even completely.
and Cole doesn't go to the track every weekend like saying, hey, and Cole doesn't do 35-minute motos every time he rides. I get where you're going with that, but I don't think it's fair, especially with a Ken Roxon of all. That's like saying like every time if AC and Eli went to the track and AC, didn't we hear? Oh, AC's got Eli covered on the Supercross track. What fucking happened in Supercross?
Actually, Eli admitted in the press conference that AC going like 9 in a row, fastest qualifier, pissed him off.
But it didn't matter,
it
did it?
didn't matter.
I mean, I'm just
You're saying, but see now you're talking about like what they feel. What they feel and what actually matters are two different things.
And I'm just saying, mentality-wise, I don't know. All I know is I was real impressed with Chase.
No, yeah, he was impressive, but I'm not going to buy into it after the first two motos of the year. Same thing. We said, what did AC do at A1 in Supercross?
Yeah.
Okay, and then what happened the rest of the year? So what happens if Chase goes to Loretta's this weekend and he goes 7-7?
Compared to
Chase has never won an outdoor title.
what you said about like, oh man, like he's whatever, he's just gonna be whatever. That was an impressive ride to me.
I'm not saying it wasn't impressive.
Compared to,
It was just it wasn't no super like, oh my god.
But also we keep talking about
I mean, he didn't win by 30 seconds, and I'm not calling him to win every fucking weekend. I'm just saying that was, compared to what I thought might happen, which was like, he'll get better, he might be like top 10, whatever, to come and put it on the box,
If you're
put
a
it down
rookie, your
fast
first
as
3
qualifier.
rounds are gonna be the best ones, and then the rest of the boys are gonna.
Yeah, and that's another thing too. Like, not even mentioning that it's only 9 rounds. But wait till we start doing these back. I mean, dude, we're doing what 5 in a row?
Sure.
Talk to me when we get to Red Bud first round.
Okay.
After he's done this now, he's had to do this consistently on a 450. Yes, I understand it fits the style better, but also that track fits a Chase Sexton style. Wait till we go somewhere where it's a little bit more wide open. I just don't see it. He never even won an outdoor title on a 250, and now you're telling me he's all of a sudden.
How many races did he win outdoors on?
One. He won one.
And then what happened? He's fucking woo!
Oh, one moto.
Yeah, he's only won one moto. Last year that race at WW,
where he
So-
overheated himself.
No.
Again, there you go. He's gonna push his balls off.
I'm not saying it wasn't impressive. It was better than I thought
Hey,
by
man,
a lot.
He's got the X factor now.
But I also kept telling you in Supercross, you kept saying AC was going to get a win, and I said nope. And now you're telling me nope, Chase ain't going to
Are
get a win.
you gonna say James Stewart's his X factor?
James Stewart
Swear
is
to
X
God,
Bro,
I hope they don't keep bringing that up because
Stu is working with him.
Yeah, I don't think that matters.
yeah,
Who
that
else has
doesn't
Stu
matter.
called in the last 6 years since he's been irrelevant?
James Stewart.
Two different people.
I don't think.
The contrast
I
there.
don't think anybody can understand what's going on in James Stewart's head.
Because James can just be like, okay, do this. Well, how? I can do it.
You should
Don't-
be able to.
You should be able to do it. The fuck are you talking about?
I don't know.
No, Chase was impressive, but I'm not buying into it.
Okay.
One guy that I want to talk about. Do you think Savatgy should have been better, or it was just a good bad?
No. I think that once again we talk about Marv.
That was pretty much what I expected, I guess.
I do
I
expect
think I
him.
kind of expected a little bit better. They did kind of mention it on the broadcast. But usually those guys that don't ride Supercross all year, they're just leaps and bounds better outdoors the first couple rounds. But they did have a little time for
Now,
the guys.
I did say that I expect him to be top 5. I will be shocked that if he's not top 5. I'm saying as the first round, no. Just for the fact that he was in top 10, that was impressive. I was impressed with the way Marv rode. So I'm saying for guys.
I was real impressed with Mark because I didn't know what exactly we were going to get there.
But
Did you hear
He doesn't need to have 2 legs.
Yeah, so I was about to say.
can we go over to another KTM guy? We don't really have to talk about it much, but can we just kind of like talk about Bobo for 1 minute? He's not going to make it through the whole season, right?
I don't think so.
I think he just rides around the whole season.
You think that
He
he
looked
keeps
really
going?
tired.
You think he keeps going just to ride around? That's what I meant. Okay.
Maybe.
That was bad.
I don't even know where he finished.
I don't know what were you expecting from him?
I wasn't I'm just saying, like, I wasn't expecting.
Better than Benny Bloss?
No. Well, I called Benny. I think he gets top 5 this year. I thought that.
11. He wasn't anywhere near.
Yeah. Well, I didn't expect it to be that bad. I didn't expect him to be running around in like 23rd. I was like, hey, maybe he did a top 20 because Bobo still has a lot of natural talent. I didn't think he was going to be like fucking a minute and 40 back or whatever he was. That was bad.
I love you, Bobo.
All right. So you want to talk about Tomac or you want to talk about
We
Osborne?
already talked about Tomac.
Who else is out there? Can we talk about Cooper for a second?
Cooper Webb?
Yeah. You kind of talking.
That was kind of.
The second moto was weird.
Weird second moto. It didn't look like he was flowing, putting in the bike in the ruts. He was standing up again, looked like outdoors. I don't know if they made changes or what in between motos. And then the first one, it just looked like he ran out of gas.
Yeah, which is not really a Cooper Webb thing.
So
It doesn't really fade.
I don't know.
maybe I could see, like I said this in the beginning, I'd see him getting burnt on that program.
Maybe.
You think he leaves it soon?
Yeah.
Like next year?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I hope
think
he does.
I think he's out.
I think he needs to leave it. I think it needs to be. I just think that program, the only person, and I guess this is a good good segue, the only person that program fits is the guy who won the second moto. That's it.
And a guy like that, like it's like Dungey, like he
Just likes to
he
grind
actually
out.
enjoys working out.
He likes to suffer. And we're not saying that like Cooper Webb doesn't like to train and stuff like that. But Cooper's also a guy, like he grew up, surfer, chill, like hang out by the pool, probably likes to have some drinks. Zacho, he's got a family, he doesn't need to do that shit. He just likes to suffer. That program fits a guy like Zach Osborne. It doesn't fit, and Marv to an extent, I guess. But it doesn't fit other people.
It fits a Marv too, because what's Marv got to do out here?
Yeah,
He ain't
that's
gonna be out
true.
chasing ass.
And then Matilda just taking it out. Yeah, it fits Osborne. I don't.
So does Zach win more this year, or?
I will say something about, I don't know, from in my eyes, what I saw, Osborne managed that race really, really well. So he was out front, right? He's looking. He sees Tomac making a charge, making some time up. He let Tomac get really close in that corner before finish line for the single there. Tomac had the outside, and Osborne knew where he was at and just kind of stayed there, blocked the line. And that lap, boom, gone. Let Tomac get close. It's like, hey, Tomac, he's out of gas a little bit. He just put a lot of effort in. boom, had some left in the tank, pulled
Like,
away.
like a
come back.
Rocky Russian, I must break you.
Well, Zacho's
And
always
he kind of broke him.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, and Zacho's also good. We've seen it in Supercross enough, and we've even seen it with his 250 championships. He's better with a start. Like because his bulldog mentality, and he just likes to hang it wide open. He's not always the greatest when he comes through the pack. But I will say, as part of the managing the race, there were 2 sections we talked about earlier that he was. You could definitely tell he could just take a breath. You know, it was separate. The section after what was the old amateur finish, where he was doubling on and then bouncing off instead of hitting the triple and then landing in the ruts. And it's just a small little thing, and I know that maybe people didn't even catch it, but I noticed it, and I'm like, it's a lot smoother. Where the finish was.
He was going to the left.
No, well, where the finish was, that right-hander before it, he was going inside. He was hitting a braking bump, preloading, and doubling into the corner, and just popping over it, where a lot of guys were just trying to bang through it. They were hitting that last braking bump, and it was pitching them to the outside rut, where he could hit the double, set up for it, and then just drop in where the rut didn't G out as hard. Those 2 sections, in my opinion, right there watching him, you could tell that was just a small little things. Because when Eli would get close to him, Eli tried to just hammer through it. He bounced over, he got into the rut, and then he gapped a little bit. And just those 2 little things, you could tell it's like, okay, that was separating him. Do I think he wins more? I do. I think he'll win more motos. I don't buy into he's going to win championship.
He quadding out of the 10 Commandments too.
Yeah.
He only caught that
I
once.
saw Webb do it once in
Did it
front
all
of him,
day.
but he was doing it like second to last lap. I caught him doing it.
Yeah. No, the second to last lap he tripled. He fucked up. He tripled. The last lap he quadded again though.
Yeah.
And he was doing it almost every lap before that. At least we saw him on TV.
So do I think he can win more motos? Yeah, I do. I'm not buying into that he's going to win a championship now because he didn't win the first moto. He
Is
didn't
that a
really
big
catch.
confidence booster breaking Tomac?
No, because I think
Tomac was visibly pissed about it because you know how riders are. They
Yeah.
shake each other's hands after the race.
Well, Eli just
pulled
rode
up,
by.
waited. Tomac
Yeah,
just rode
just
by.
rode
like
Well,
a
let's be
dickbag.
honest,
Like a
Eli.
dickbag.
Let's be honest, Eli did that a lot in Supercross.
And
That's the way Eli.
you
is.
could ride around. All the guys were giving the fans high fives and stuff. Tomac just second gear whipped around there, just waving at him, not shaking hands.
I don't think so because I
just
think
being a salty dick.
I mean,
Zacho knows in the back of his head that when Eli is having an Eli day, he's not anywhere close.
but can he manage it like Dunge?
No.
Where okay, Eli's having an Eli day. Okay, you go, I'll get second, and then on these non-Eli days or the days that I'm feeling into where I can go with you, I'll beat you.
No, because as much as I hate saying we all picked Eli for the championship, how many Eli days did Eli actually have last year though? 2.
Yeah.
So I don't see it. As much as I would like to say yes, I don't see it because Zacho is also going to have Zacho days. His starts are not going to be 100% every moto.
I don't know, man. In the 250s, once he started winning, dude.
But I'm talking about, look at how many times last year though, where one moto he'd be really great, and the next moto he'd get a shit start and he'd be running 7th.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is like in the 250s, we watched this too. He had some pretty decent finishes when he came back and he was in Rockstar Husky, and then he went to the Alden program, and then he started winning, and then it was like you couldn't fucking stop him.
Yeah, but he won a moto last year
because he won a moto, but he didn't win an overall.
No, but he
And
also didn't win an overall this year by being better both motos though.
Well,
Anderson was clearly better than him.
I mean, 2-1's a pretty good fucking day.
Yeah, but he
was
didn't
clearly
catch.
the best guy
And
in
he
the
was,
second one.
yeah.
He was, but the first moto Anderson was clearly better than everybody else.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying, and I agree, and I do agree that he wins more motos this year, and maybe even more overalls. But do I think that at the end of the 9 rounds that he's going to be anywhere near winning the championship? No, I don't. Because I think that when Marv gets back to being Marv's better than Zacho, for sure.
Well, he's got that red plate.
Yeah, I do. I think Marv's way better than Zacho. How many times did Marv beat Zacho
You want to
last
lay
year?
some money on that, or
No.
are you sure? Because I'll lay a lot of money on that.
You don't think that when Marv's back to 100% that Marv's not better
No.
than
Pretty
Zacho?
fucking close. right
No,
now.
I think it's real close. If Zach's not better,
No.
and
Is Zacho? Oh my God! How many times has Marv finished second in the championship and be the only guy to consistently beat Eli Tomac?
great,
Every year, Zacho has done it twice.
super. Yeah, I mean, how long you want to ride that train there, bud?
Well,
Ride what train?
Zacho's got 1 season in on a 450.
Yeah.
So, which point? Zacho's also 31 years old. I'm sick and tired of hearing this. He's a rookie in the 450 class. He's been a professional for 15 fucking years.
It's different.
Get over
dude.
it.
That intensity's different.
I understand.
I don't
that-
care how fucking old you are. That intensity's different.
I understand that, but he also has done and seen more things than pretty much everybody other than Marv and Eli. I just don't buy it. I don't buy it. When Marv is 100%, I guarantee Zacho is not going to be on his level. Because he wasn't last year. He was not last year at any point. And this goes back to the whole thing. He won a
Marv's been
Moto
off
West.
the bike for a year.
And what did he do the first round?
Great.
Okay,
cool.
so
I'm
after
just
being
saying,
off the bike for a
we
year.
do this every single time. Somebody gets hurt. If you're off the bike for a year, that's a year of you're not growing, and they are.
And also,
And
what
now
did
Zach
he do?
is taking that step. Look, he comes out the first round, which again, okay, here we go. We won't put that much stock in the first round. He wins the last round of Supercross.
Only
okay?
because Jason Anderson's seat fell off. If that doesn't happen, he doesn't win it, and this is a completely different conversation because the whole
Doesn't
confidence thing, it does matter.
It doesn't.
It does because it's
He
a confidence
won it.
thing.
Yeah, so his confidence is fucking higher than shit
So
right now.
he also knows in the back of his head though that race, the only reason he won it is because Jason Anderson had a bike malfunction. He was 6 seconds down with 4 laps to go.
I
He
mean,
wasn't going to catch him.
I mean, you can say that, but in the back
Supercross
of your mind,
hindsight 2020.
in the back
What?
of your mind.
Hindsight 2020.
Okay, and then what happened to Jason Anderson the first moto? He goes out and wins by 8 seconds.
I would lay a lot of money that Zach beats Marvin points.
No.
Dude, I don't have the points on here, but his lead's got to be pretty fucking good already here.
Okay.
It's one round.
It's one
It
round.
is one round. I'm just saying, a 2-1.
For somebody that's talking a lot about
second
not
place
buying
went 1-6.
I understand that.
So how many points?
I do
What's
think
the
the
point
speed
difference?
is closer than what you think.
It is.
That's fine. I
It
just don't believe it. I don't believe it. We
At
watched
what
Marv
point are you gonna believe it here? Because
until we get to the end of the series because Marv has literally finished second other than last year because he got bulldogged. He finished second every year in the points to Eli and has been the only guy, as much as we love Kenny.
so nobody can possibly beat Marv for second place to Eli. No one. It's not possible. Marv is just gonna get second place every time he lines up. In the
No.
series.
Marv's also going to win
That's
motos.
what you're saying.
No, it's not.
That's what you're saying.
I'm
He's
just
been off
saying-
the bike for a year, but he finishes second every single year.
So
So
what-
he's gonna finish second.
so what did-
no one could possibly
What
do
did
it.
he get after being off the bike for a year this round?
What did he get?
Yeah, what were his moto scores? 4
It
5?
went 4-5.
Okay.
Something like that.
All right, 4-5.
So he had a great day.
All right, so being off the
That
bike for
is
the
a-
year. So
yes.
your first race of the year after being off for a year, you're
Yes.
4-5. You're 4-5.
Yes.
Okay, so, and you don't think he's going to get any better. So
I-
if they're
I didn't-
automatically
I didn't
4-5 after being off the bike for a year, don't you think that's going to propel
I didn't
the
say he
start?
wasn't going to get better. I didn't say he was going to get better.
Ugh.
We're not talking, is he going to get better? We're talking, is he better when he gets back into peak shape? Is he better than Zach?
Yes,
and
because,
I don't think so.
because when he's at peak shape, he's proven it.
I don't think so.
Yeah,
I mean, he's proven it before, yes.
That's all the end of the conversation.
But
then.
no, it's not.
Gonna be, I
Because
just think it's going to be close.
this is completely different. I think it's going to be close, and I think Zach's going to be better.
I don't see it. Now, if Marv doesn't get back to 100% because that knee is a lot worse than everybody, then fine. But if he gets back to, you tell me that
I
100%.
think his knee's okay. I think his knee's fine.
Well, there was also a lot of people were saying this is what he was riding.
As long as they put whatever they did to RJ's knee in,
yeah, oh, yeah,
Then he's fine. There's no
No, I just don't
problem
see it. I think that Zach gets more moto wins.
whatever that HGH was.
I'll give him that credit, but I don't think he is anywhere near Eli at the end of the year because Eli is cleared better than everybody else. We know that. And I think Marv beats him in points. I do. I think that there's going to be days where, yes, Zach goes better than Marv. But Marv is proven.
You just tell me the number you want to bet, because I'll bet it all day long.
No, I already have a bet with
We
him.
already got a $20 bet.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot you got that.
Yeah, so
What was that bet? That
I don't
Anstey
remember.
wins a moto?
I don't know.
he gets a moto win by the end of the year.
Anstey gets a moto win, so you want to just give him the $20 now?
I was just going to say, some gas money.
All right,
You want to
so
apologize for your KTM comments last week?
What did I say about KTM?
Certain KTM rider.
No, I'm not going down that road.
Okay.
No, I'm not breaking
all right, who you guys got for next week? Cole, you go first. 250 and 450 winners.
Looking at my crystal ball. George Ford, obviously. I think Frenchie backs it up. He does too at Loretta's.
With a 1-1 or a 1-something, a something
I
1?
think he won-ones it again.
Okay.
Just after seeing that performance.
Mhm.
I mean, obviously we're going to go to different tracks this year, but yeah, I think Frenchie backs it up. 450 class. I'd like to see Barsha get a start, and I would go with Barsha if he gets a start.
Okay. Who you got?
I think Frenchie goes 1-1 as well, but I think that it's a lot closer. I think that J-Mart and RJ make it tough for him because once again, I think that the track is going to be completely different. I think that the track is going to be like a normal Loretta's. It's going to be very, very hard. It's going to be very square edge, not as many ruts, at least flowable ruts. But yeah, I think that he goes 1-1, but I think it's a lot closer. And as much as that pains me to say every time I frickin' say this, I think Eli goes 1-1, and I think that he fucking I think
kills everyone.
Yeah, I think he yards everyone. I don't think it's even close. I hate saying that so
Wow.
much. I really do.
I don't like saying that either.
I hate it. But because I didn't pay attention to what, like, I know that he rode past Zacho, but I didn't know the whole thing, like, clutch disengaged, wide open, going around. You were saying that, like, when Eli went around, like, when Zacho was trying to shake hands with people, and you said Eli.
Yeah, he was just kind of being a dick. Like,
Okay.
instead of people, like, shaking his hands, he was just waving at them.
Yeah, okay, so he was doing that. You can tell he was pissed.
Yeah.
We all know what happens with
Does he
Eli.
get the Jordan mentality? Michael Jordan?
I think he's going to crush everybody. I hate to say it, but we know what happens when Eli gets pissed. And I think that any confidence that, whether it's Zacho, whether it's Sexton, whether it's Anderson, any confidence they had, Eli's going to go back and he's going to be like, well, this is why I three-peated. I don't think it's going to be close. I'll go so far as to say that I think that he wins by 20 seconds. I don't know about both motos, but I think that he wins
Think
by
he goes
20.
beast mode?
Yeah.
Alito Mac?
I hate it. I hate to say it, but I think he
Alito
does.
Mac shows up?
Yeah, I do. I think he puts 20 on everybody. And I think that little bit of confidence that whether, like I said, it was Osborne, Sexton, whoever, I think it goes from here and it goes to there. It's over with.
We'll see.
I hate saying it. I really do. Fucking hate it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna shock you a little bit. I think that Frenchie and J-Mart split motos in the 250, but I think Frenchie wins the overall.
Hold the phone. After all this fucking... After all this, he's going undefeated fucking talk.
I didn't say he was going undefeated. At no point did I say he was going 18-0. I said he was the alpha. That was all I said. Y'all took that and went, oh, he's not going undefeated. I never fucking once said he was going 18-0. Not one fucking time did those words come out of my mouth.
All right,
Not
so
one time.
Anyway, go ahead.
does he win the first moto or the second moto? It doesn't really matter if you think he gets the overall.
I think he, yeah, whatever. He wins. I think they split, but
Okay.
I think Frenchie gets the overall. Okay.
Okay,
Because
so-
I think J Mart's not super duper happy, and I think he gets off the line at least once this week with him and goes. And if he gets off the line and goes with him, I think he has the possibility of beating him.
Do you think the moto that Frenchie wins, though, or do you think it's by a lot? Or do you think it's still J Mart's close?
I think it's fair. I think it's 10 to 15.
Oh, I definitely wouldn't call it fair, but all right.
Well,
I get what
for
you're saying.
outdoors, that's fair.
Anyway, what do you got?
Anyway, 450. I think Tomac wins overall, but I think him and AC split wins because I think AC's pissed too. Because he was real pissed and he knows it was his fault that he crashed.
Yeah, you better bring his super mini.
He was leading that second one. I mean,
Yeah, like, he was good, but I'm also not so sure that Zacho wouldn't have got him anyways.
maybe.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
I don't know. I mean,
Zacho was a lot closer. Like, if you watch the GoPro video, and once again, like, where I was watching, I wasn't really paying attention to, like, the ticker or anything. I didn't realize that Zacho, like, I know it was only the first, second lap it happened. I thought AC had a little bit more of a gap when he went down on Zacho. And then when he hit the deck, Zacho, like, literally just went
Yeah.
right. So I think Zacho would have got, I don't know.
probably.
I mean,
But like I said, I think AC's pissed because he was beating on his chest in the pit lane
hey, at
because
least
he
he
knew
took,
it was his
hey, at
fault.
least took responsibility for something.
Yeah, I mean, he like I said, he knew it was his fault, and you could tell, and he was bummed about it. So I think he comes back with a vengeance and probably goes past his qualifier and wins one.
Did you say Eli gets the overall?
But I think Eli gets overall, yeah.
Where's
That-
Zacho finish then? 3-3?
Yeah.
Where's Sexton finish? 4-4?
No. I think he's.
Oh, Freddie Norman.
I think
How about
he's-
some surprises? What do you guys got?
Both classes?
Both classes.
Ooh, okay. Alright.
Um,
Like, as far as, like, just anything or, like, finishes?
Anything. What do you think is going to be a
I
surprise?
think Hunter Lawrence puts it on the box.
Yeah, well, if his bike doesn't grenade.
Well, yeah, that was the thing.
250s, that's I don't know. I would say I'd keep going with the Mason Gonzalez thing, though.
Yeah.
Actually, I'll say Mason Gonzalez.
I would say he could lead a lap or two if he pulls a holding,
Oh.
which he's gonna start.
I was going to say that he runs top 5 for quite a few. And then 450s, I think Barsha actually, I think if he gets a start, I don't think he's going to be anywhere close to Eli, like I said, but I think that he can get a second. I don't know if that's really a surprise after the way it rode. Freddie
All right.
Norman is Freddie Norman.
Anything else?
I think Baggage is going to do something weird.
It would be so cool
Like
to see him
finish
get a win
18th or
though.
something?
No, it'd be so cool to see
I think
him get a
Baggett's
win.
going to have a weird win.
I'm not, like I said, I'm not a Baggett fan at all, but him and Loretta's, like, I don't know, I feel like
Don't get along?
I feel like he thinks that Loretta's owes him something. I don't know. He always used to go to the bar, she used to cheat in the B class.
Really?
Yeah, dude, they hated each other. Their last year in the B class in 08, they literally, like, were this fucking close to getting in a fist fight. Which is
Why?
so fucking funny. Because Barsha fucking, They were getting into it. Barsha got a bad start. I think it was in the B-Stock Moto. Barsha got a bad start. He was closing on Baggett. And he felt that Baggett was holding him up, but it's like, dude, like, he's fucking trying to win. And he got pissed, tried parking Baggett. Baggett got pissed, returned the favor later in the moto. And then apparently they were, like I said, this close to getting in a fist fight afterwards. But once again, I find it hilarious because Blake Baggett at the time was like this fucking big.
Okay, so Barsha was getting in someone's head, like you're
Like, yeah,
That never happens.
But that wasn't. But you guys got to remember though, that wasn't Barsha at the time though. This is 2008, Justin Barsha.
Yeah, there's videos of Barsha on an 85 doing it to people at
But he did-
Waldo on a Wednesday.
But he did that though. But he wasn't like he didn't really get into it with guys that were kind of on the same level as him though. He would do that to the random Joes. I mean, dude, I see him take somebody out at Lake Whitney in 07 that wasn't even in his fucking class. So like Baggett, I think feels that like Loretta's owes him something.
Maybe. All right. Well, that wraps up another episode of the Moto Aftermath Show presented by TLR Coatings. Remember to like, comment, share, all that good stuff. Remember, if we get 10 comments, Cole is going for the old,
Fuck yeah.
old national.
Tars, I know you like to comment, bro. Put in 10.
Tars and Bob Bones, let's make it happen. We need to get this
And
man.
if he gets 20, he's got to do it on a 252 stroke.
Yes. Perfect. So
No, send me money.
make sure to
can't
follow
ask
us
for
on
money
all
on
the
the show.
I'm
major
asking for
social.
money. I'm not doing it unless I.
Make sure to follow us on all the major social media networks.
So we're not doing it. Sorry.
And we will be back next week wrapping up Loretta Lynns 2. See ya.
Dose.